Guy Adami, Friday, game 5 for your boys. A lot going on. Sad day in Yankee land as well. So what do you want to talk about?
Whitey Ford passed away. I guess heard about it today. I think he passed away yesterday. It's remarkable. Things do happen in threes. Obviously, Tom Seaver, and I'm not going to get on the Mets. Tom Seaver, Bob Gibson, and now Whitey Ford. And I tweeted earlier that there's one hell of a rotation up there. And then you got Lou Brock leading off. It is sad. I mean, as a Yankee fan, you just wait for the next shoe to drop. You knew Whitey's getting up there in years, and it's a sad day in Yankee land. Without best pitcher in the Yankee history for sure.
Really? So you're throwing
absolutely.
Whitey best pitcher over Mariano, who was a unanimous Hall of Famer?
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly,
you going apples and oranges on the closer?
Yeah, I mean, closers. I don't even. I shall qualify best starting pitcher in Yankee history. How's that?
Well, I mean, it's not difficult to do better than Eddie Lee Whitson or Denny Nagel or I'm trying to think who's the guy, Jared Wright,
Hideki Arabu,
the big toad. Look, dude, I'm flying pinstripes behind me today, so you cannot be coming after me. And as I've said many times, I'm bleeding New York before I'm going to go bleed Tampa. But I worry about you guys because you can't lose either of the next 2 series without probably not being able to get over it. I mean, it's one thing to lose to Tampa, but you beat Tampa. And then suddenly you're playing your Astros, and I know you weren't whining, but there was a lot of whining in Yankee land.
Yeah, there was a lot of whining in baseball.
Let's not talk about
there's a lot of whining in baseball. I mean, look, it's pretty ridiculous, really, what went on with the Stros last year. And if the Yankees do win tonight, which obviously I'm hoping for, if whoever's pitching the first game, I have no idea for the Yankees. I don't give a shit who's up first. I am absolutely drilling that MFer. And then sending the message. And if I get tossed, I get tossed. But
hold on.
You have to absolutely go after whoever the first guy up for the Astros.
For the Stros. Yeah, well, sure. And it's your boy Altuve, right? I mean,
does he lead off? I don't know. Honestly, I haven't been paying attention. It's a bizarre year. I have no idea who leads off for the Stros. It's pretty much the same team as last year. I get it. Verlander's down. I get that. Garrett Cole's not there. I get that. But, in terms of a lineup, I think it's the same team. But I will tell you that as a team, the Yankees have to say, I don't give a shit. We're putting the first guy on. We're drilling that guy right in the rib cage, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, but isn't it going to be a little strange when you throw out there who's the guy that pitched some decent relief for you last night?
Chad Green.
Chad Green. When Chad Green starts game 1, aren't people going to understand that he's headhunting? And they probably won't even let him start the game.
I didn't say headhunting. I said in the rib cage.
Purpose pitch. Chin music. Yeah. I get it. Anyway, look, let's talk markets because interesting week. Dow's S&P. Excuse me. We really talk Dow here. It's going to close up close to 4%. You've made a great point about the president finally tuning this market as he seeks fit. And it's also interesting, and pardon the pun here or the reference, but you talk about Whitey Ford. I mean, look at the auto stocks. And even the big bombed out industrial names have had a big run. In fact, Ford had a big week. And that's a chart that, dare I say, I kind of like, and I know autos have been, no mas, no bueno, no touch. But I think as you're looking at the way the market is trading, the push towards value and some of these industrial names is interesting.
Yeah, listen, even GM sort of, I was concerned that the whole thing with Nikola was going to really adversely impact GM for a period of time. And GM's recovered almost all those the sell-off off the back of the Nikola news. And you're right, on a chart, Ford probably looks the best it's looked in a long time. But, the still question comes down, are there better places to be? But if you're only just looking at autos as a trade, Ford might actually make sense for the first time in a long time.
It's, and I know it's hard to say this, and you have to look towards 2021. But in the second quarter, first of all, they came in with essentially half the loss on EBITDA. I think they lost about 1.9 billion. I know that's nothing to do cartwheels over, but it was significantly better on cost cutting and also the strength of those F-150s. Third quarter, very different story. And if you're modeling 2021, these guys are going to make somewhere in the neighborhood of 6.5 billion on EBITDA. If you listen to J.P. Morgan, don't listen to me, which makes this stock around 4.5 times PE. By the way, speaking of cars, notice that Trey Wingo checked in last night, we were talking about you playing your 8-track player inside of your Nova, your Chevelle, whatever it was. So that was cool. I'm guessing, by the way, Trey, first of all, was driving a Monte Carlo, and I tweeted that out today. And I bet obviously the 8-track hit a soft spot for him, because I think he was going with some Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell, possibly some Supertramp.
My sense he's more a foreigner guy, but listen, that could be. And, I think he's somewhere between you and I in terms of age. And I know for a fact that his son went to Georgetown, actually played football at Georgetown. So we're wrapping a ribbon around this entire thing.
We
clearly
love it.
Trey is a Fast Money fan because, he's getting in our grill on the 8-track front.
Well, it's important to note that the 8-track, the randomness of when you threw an 8-track tape on what you were going to get, is, I think, part of the magic of it, and part of the reason why the 8-track is the gift that keeps on giving when we talk about market analogies. Because again, this is one of these weeks. Think about where we came in. Think about midweek, or is it Monday night? We go home. The president says, "You know what? It's all off the table. We're actually not going to do anything in the way of fiscal," and the markets really are going to finish the week better than they were before we started on the concept of even talking about fiscal.
And that was my point. Maybe I made it clumsily on Monday night, but my point was he understands exactly what he's doing. He understands what's going to do the market. And I think in his mind, maybe I'm giving him way too much credit, but he's saying, you know what, I'll put this out there. The market will take a step back. I'll backtrack and say, I'm look at the magic of my negotiation skills, and the market will take 3 steps forward. And that's, to a certain extent, pretty much is what happened, because I think the only thing he really cares about in terms of the optics is how the market reacts, and he's succeeded on that front. Like him, hate him, revere him, not. I mean, you have to admit the guy's learned how to speak the language of the market, which is what we were talking about last night.
Well, speaking of how people react, Yanks lose Game 5 tonight. You think Booney's gone? I mean, it may be time for a major reassessment.
So you're just saying that. I like that.
Bronx.
I mean, and you saw how quickly I answered that question. I mean,
how can you be so sure? How can
Cameron
you be so
Diaz will be gone as the Mets skipper long before Aaron Boone's going as a Yankee skipper. Booney's there for a while. I'm just saying the Mets. Listen, I'll tell you right now. You might see 6 guys on that team back next year.
I've got pinstripes.
All their base coaches.
I've got pinstripes behind me, man. And I'm not throwing horns at the Yankees. But why are we talking about the Mets? It's interesting how the Yanks are somewhat obsessed with the Mets in the Stevie Cohen era, and that we're probably on the back page of the Post, the New York Post, by the way, best sports page in the business. But that's tonight. This is about a Yankee victory that I want to see. But again, your guy Garrett Cole, who you gave the largest contract in baseball history to, at least for a pitcher, this is time to earn the money, pal.
Yeah,
earn it.
3 days rest. He's going to come out and throw BBs. And on Monday, you're going to say you're going to do one of these things to me. I know, because you'll be like, your guy Cole was the stud that we thought he was on Friday night.
Let's be a stud tonight, man. Be a stud. See you Monday.
Yo, I like it. I do like that, even though you're putting the horns on me. I'll talk to you Monday.
Number 1.